And welcome out live to the 2018 Windward Islands game. We're about to commence the first event, the females 800 meters. We have 7 participants, 2 from St. Lucia, 2 from Grenada, 2 from St. Vincent, and 1 from Dominica. In the 800 events, runners will run in the lanes for the first 100 meters and break in wherein they could go into the first lane. And they're off. We could see Grenada and St. Lucia taking the early lead. The 800 tends to be a very tactical race. We can see there's a slight breeze towards the back stretch, so it's going to affect the runners just a little bit. But once they come into the home stretch, they're going to have the breeze at the back, which will work to their advantage.
If you have just joined us, you are witnessing the 800 meters ladies.
And coming through the 400 meters, we have Team St. Vincent and the Grenadines first and second, with Grenada trailing, Dominica trailing, and St. Lucia in 5th place. 1 more lap to go in the 800 meters, 1 more lap to go. We have Grenada looking to make a move on the back stretch. She just came into the 2nd place position. First place for St. Vincent and the Grenadines seems to be fading away just a bit, but hopefully she could hold on for the victory. We have Grenada closing in strongly, closing in strongly, closing in strongly. And there we have it, Grenada has taken over, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines is still putting up a really strong fight. She just kicked again. And she looks to be really strong in a sensational run. She's going very well. Down the home stretch, St. Vincent in 1, Grenada in 2, Dominica in 3. And Zita of St. Vincent, 1st place, Grenada 2nd place, Dominica 3rd. We had 1 casualty in the race as one of the St. Lucian athletes did not finish the race. Up next, we're going to have the boys 800 meters run. We're going to have 2 athletes from each country. So in all the individual events, we have 2 athletes from each country comprising of 8 participants in each event. And in the relays, we're going to have 1 team from each country. So we're going to have 4 participants in each relays. We're going to have the 4x1 men and women, the 4x4 boys and girls. There is a point scoring system to determine who is the winner of the overall meet. So in 1st place, you receive 9 points. 2nd place, you receive 7 points. 3rd place, you receive 6 points. 4th place, 5 points. 5th place, 4 points. 6th place, 3 points. 7th place, 2 points. And 8th place, 1 point. So no matter what you place, you're gonna receive a point. So it's crucial that you finish the race. No matter what happens, finish the race to get that point. Because at the end of the day, every single point is gonna matter. We're about to start the 2nd racing event for today, the 800 meters male. Last year, our very own Ruben Nichols was the winner of this event, so hopefully we could have a repeat by one of our fellow St. Lucian athletes. And they're off. Again, they're going to stay in the lanes for the first 100 meters, after which they will break into the 1st lane. And we see a strong start by the St. Lucian athletes as they look to go straight to the beginning of the race to control the race. The 800 is usually a very tactical race, so the better you could control the race, the more likely it is that you could pull off a win. We have Grenada in first place, followed by St. Lucia and St. Vincent of the Grenadines. They're about to form a very neat pack and decide the pecking order. And we see St. Vincent and the Grenadines in control of the race. Is this race as we have one more lap to go. St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1 and 2 with Grenada in third place.
Final lap, but it looks like SVG's trying to pull ahead.
And on the back stretch, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1 and 2 with Grenada in 3. St. Lucia is 4th, still in the race. He could pull this off. He needs to make a move right now though, right now. This is the toughest part of the race, ladies and gentlemen. I could tell you from experience, being an 800-meter runner, the last 200 is the most difficult and challenging aspect of the race. Your legs are done, your lungs are burning, you're running on pure will at this moment. And we have St. Vincent and the Grenadines going 1 and 2, and he still has energy for an extra kick. Look at him go, look at him go. Grenada coming on strongly, Grenada coming up, Grenada coming up. St. Vincent, can they hold the 1 and 2? First place goes to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And oh, it's a photo finish. It's difficult to tell, but it looks like Grenada just had him on the line. It might not look like St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1, Grenada 2, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 3. Unofficially, however. Unofficially. Again, ladies and gentlemen, every single point counts, as first place received 9 points and 8th place also received 8 points. So just by finishing the race, you score points. And we're here with the champion of the 800 meters men from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Just tell us your name, please.
My name is Desiree Jordan.
Desiree Jordan. How was the race for you?
Well, the race was good. It was fairly run by each athlete.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in the race, and everything was fine.
Okay. In terms of the conditions, how do you find the race today? I noticed it's a bit windy, but how did that work for you?
Well, it was very easy because I run hard on that many times in my race. So.
And I noticed you take towards the front. You control practically the entire race, even towards the end. How did the end feel to you, like the last 100 to 200 meters?
Well, I feel, coming by, when I was coming home, I feel kind of tired, but by striding and maintaining my hand action.
Okay. And what other events do you have at these games?
The shot put and the 1500 meters.
Shot put and 1500 meters. All right, we hope to see you later on. All the best in the games.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the winner of the 800 meter men. Have the 100 meters female for St. Lucia. We're gonna have Deeta Dejrel and Maya Hippolyte representing St. Lucia. Again, we're going to have 8 participants, 2 from each country. Again, the countries are Dominica, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and our very own St. Lucia. Today is a lovely day to have a track meet. You know, the sun isn't too hot, the temperature is just right. We have a slight cross breeze though, which could be a bit challenging for the longer races. So on the back stretch, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but coming into the home stretch, it's going to be quite simple. And we're getting ready for the start, so we're about to be a bit quiet. And they're off. And they're off and flying. It's difficult to tell who's in the front right now, but we have St. Vincent and the Grenadines first, Dominica second, and St. Lucia third unofficially by what the eyes can see. Again, it's a point system. Every single point counts. Once you finish the event, you will receive a point. First place 9 points, second place 7 points, third place 6, and it goes down by 1 point all the way to 8. The next event, we're going to have the 100-meter boys. In this event, we have Ethan James and Shelton St. Rose representing St. Lucia. So far, St. Vincent and the Grenadines have had a strong outing as they went 1 and 2 in the boys 800 meters, and they just won the females 100 meters. It's about to be an exciting track meet. And we're here with the third place finisher for the girls 100 meters. How was the race for you?
It was a really difficult race because I didn't train last week, so I was going in the race kind of afraid, but I guess I placed third.
Yeah, with lack of preparation, I would say that was an absolutely stellar race. Yeah. And what do you think of the environment and the atmosphere of the game so far?
Normal, I run here a lot, so it's not different. Yeah.
Okay. And what other events do you have for the day?
I have the 200 and the 4x1.
Oh, so you have a busy day ahead of you. All right, all the best for the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. They're doing their final hops and slaps just to get the legs ready, to get that full spring and elasticity that they need in their muscles to get off the blocks as quickly as possible. Again, the start is extremely crucial in the 100-meter dash. If you have a bad start, more than likely your race is going to be bad. And they're off. It's a clean start, and we have. Oh, it's a really close race. We cannot tell if it's St. Lucia or Grenada. It is between St. Lucia and Grenada. We have no idea who is the winner. We'll have to wait for the official results. It is between St. Lucia and Grenada. Usually the 100 meters is really difficult to tell first, second or third because usually the race is extremely close, and as we just saw, it was a close one. By the looks of it, these games are about to be extremely competitive. Everyone is out here to put out a good showing. Usually the track meet determines the pace for the entirety of the games, as we have other events coming up in netball, volleyball, basketball, football, and volleyball. So everyone is trying to get off on the right leg, on the best possible leg, the strongest leg as they can. And we have straight off the race. Can I get your name, please?
Shelton St. Rose.
Shelton. Oh, we've been talking about you. How was the race for you?
Well, I didn't get a good start first of all, but if I didn't get a good start, it would be a better race for me.
Yeah. And the start is so important in the 100 meters. What do you think was the issue with your start?
Well, the blocks, some problems.
Oh, yeah. Because usually if you don't have really good equipment, you cannot run the best that you can. But what other events would you be doing today?
The 200 and the 4x1 relay. 200
and 4x1 relay. So overall, how you find, the atmosphere of the games and, just the competition and that sort of stuff?
Well, it's going good. It's my first time at Windward, and I see.
All right, great. All the best for the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. There we had it, Shelton St. Rose. We can't tell if he was first or second, but he had an extremely good race. At the 2018 Windward Island School Games. Currently we have the females high jump going on. Again, the women's starting point was 1.4 meters and they went up by 5 centimeters since. Once they get to 1.7 meters, they go up by 3 centimeters. So the thing about high jump is you have 3 attempts in which to clear the bar. Once you've cleared, you move on to the next height. If you don't clear within the 3 attempts, however, you crash out. Inevitably, a high jump is one of the 2 events in track and field where you're going to most likely end up in failure because the bar is going to fall. High jump and pole vault, the same as pole vault, you have 3 events to clear the height. Once you don't clear the height, you're out. So the females today, they're going to jump until the last person cannot clear the height, and that's how the winner is usually determined for the event. Again, we have a points count status whereby we have the first place receives 9 points, second place receives 7 points, third place receives 6, and all the way down it goes down by 1 point until 8th place you receive 1 point. 1 single point for 8th place. So every point matters because at the end of the day we're going to total all those points, and in the end we will determine who is the winner. The points are scored individually, so we have men and women. Again, we have 2 men and women, and we combine the 2 points. So last year, for the female side, St. Lucia was in first place with 125 points, Grenada in second with 112 points, St. Vincent and the Grenadines third, 107, and Dominica 76. And last year event, the 2017 Windward Island Games, which was held in St. Vincent, the male team On the male side, we had Grenada in first place with 147 points, St. Lucia in second place with 116 points, Dominica in third place with 106 points, St. Vincent and the Grenadines in fourth place on the male side with 89 points. And the combined total, Grenada is the defending champion specifically for the track and field event and the overall games. They had 259 points last year. St. Lucia was in second place with 241 points. St. Vincent and the Grenadines third with 196 points. And Dominica in fourth place with 182 points. So given St. Lucia was second in the track meet last year, hopefully this year we could emerge victorious, coming in first place obviously if we're victorious, and using the home court advantage to our advantage. It would have been great to have crowd support also, because it really hypes up the athletes to allow them to compete the best that they can. But just the fact that we at home right now, we have that extra confidence, that extra boost that we have. The next event on the track is going to be the 1500 meters, male and female. We also have the discus going on. We have the male discus. So discus is the circular implement you throw. There are two ways of throwing the discus. There's the standing throw where you just stand and deliver. And there's the spin throw when you do a 1.5 spin throw and you toss the discus as far as you can. There's ways to foul out. If you step out of the sector, which is the circle area, before throwing the discus, you're going to be disqualified. And also if after throwing the discus and you step forward in an attempt to exit the sector, you're also going to be disqualified. You need to exit the sector via the exit, which is towards the back. We also have shot put going on, which is more of a heavier implement. It's a ball implement. It's really heavy. Usually the technique is thrown from the neck. So usually the discus and shot put throwers tend to be bigger athletes, bigger, stronger athletes with stronger upper body strength. Netball, you will receive 2 points for the winner, 1 point for each team if there's a draw, and 0 points for a lose. In volleyball, if the match is won 3-0, 5 points will be received by the team. If it is won 3-1, 5 points again will be received. If the match is won 3-2, 3 points will be given. And if the match is lost 2-3, only 2 points will be awarded. And with football, each game won will be 3 points. A draw or abandoned game will be 1 point, and each loss would be 0. This is how we're going to have the point system throughout the entire week. And furthermore, there's another point system, kind of like an external point system, where the first place team or the first place country will receive 7 points, second place country will receive 5 points, third place country receives 1 point, and the country which places fourth will receive 1 point. So given there are 7 events, the most points that a country can accumulate would be 49 points. 7 times 7, 49 points is the most points that each country can accumulate. The country at the end of the games with the most points will be the winner of the event. Julian Alfred, 2017 winner of the 100 meters Youth Commonwealth Games. Hi, Julian.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you. And how has training been going? Because you're no longer on island, right? You're currently based in Jamaica training. How has that been going?
Training been going well. Basically, I'm working on endurance right now. Mm-hmm. I stopped training for the last few weeks because of CXC examinations, but I'm back in training.
Okay. And how was your preparation for CXC was?
It was kind of difficult, but it was manageable.
Yeah, because I could imagine it's tough to manage both track and CXC.
Yes, yeah.
It is. And what's next for you in the sport of track and field?
What's next for me is preparing for Youth Olympics. That's in October in Argentina.
Oh, in Argentina. Are you excited about those games?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. And you said you've been preparing for endurance. Will there be a possibility of you moving up to the 200 meters?
There sure will be.
There will be. Oh, that would be absolutely exciting to finally see you in the 200. Because we already know you the bomb in the 100, but the 200 is a different type of challenge.
Yeah.
What do you think will be the most challenging aspect in your preparation for the 200?
Well, it's more endurance for me and holding my form because I don't like 200 because of the lactic acid that build up in my legs afterwards. Right. So it's just preparing and training hard for it.
Yeah. You say lactic acid in 200? Far the 400. Do you do 400s by chance?
I do at least one 400 individual race and one 4x4 for the year.
Just one. Okay, which is fair because you're a 100 runner. How about the bend? Do you think it's going to affect you much? Because the 200 you have to come off the bend and also maintain your form. How you feel that would be for you?
Well, it's really difficult because I can't run the bend properly, but I'm going to be training hard for it and preparing good for it.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for being here with us today. All the best in your endeavors, especially at the Youth Olympics.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, taking the banner is St. Lucia. Assistant Vincent Chester. It's St. Lucia coming on the red first. St. Lucia, St. Lucia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's St. Vincent coming up. And St. Vincent is down. And Vincent is coming up. And it's St. Lucia. And it's St. Lucia. And it's Lucia. Ladies and gentlemen, St. Lucia 1, St. Vincent 2, St. Vincent 3. Can you hear Lucia passing?
There we just had the 200 meters female where we saw our very own Kimani Alphonse taking gold in the 200 meters. Next we'll have the 200 meter men where we'll see our very own Shelton St. Rose and Amani Modest. As we saw earlier in the 100 meters, Shelton St. Rose was the winner of the 100 meters, so we could now see him double in the 200. It will be quite incredible if he could take both the 100 and 200 meters. We will have the 200 meters men in just a moment as they warm up and set their blocks. Again, it's crucial to have a good start in the 200 meters and work the bend coming into the 200. You have to carry all your momentum from the bend into the home stretch and finish with form. This race requires a little more endurance than the 100 meters, which is just a complete straight from start to finish. This one, there's a slight curve. Anytime there's curves involved, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So we're about to see the 200 meter boys. .200 meters boys. They're about to get on their marks. Hi, good race.
Thank you.
Just a second, we'll interview you after the final. Double in the 100 and the 200 meters from St. Lucia. He's running a really strong curve right now. Coming off the bend, he looks to be in first. And now he has to finish. We have St. Lucia, we have Grenada coming up on him though. Finish. It's Grenada on the outside, closing in quick on our St. Lucia and Shelton St. Rose. It was an exciting race. Grenada happened to inch him just towards the end to take the win, but nevertheless, great run by young Shelton. The 100 meters and was hopeful to get the win in the 200. How do you feel that race went?
Well, the 200 meters is not really my race. I don't like it, so I just went out and give it my all for my country. So
right, great, which is great. I noticed you had a really strong start, but towards the end you tightened up just a little bit. How did you feel?
Well, in the start I had a great start, to be honest, but in the last 100 meters I just couldn't finish. Yeah.
You never know, the 200 could be your event if you just train for it.
It's true, that's true.
Yeah. And what other events you have again?
The 4x1.
The 4x1. Well, hopefully you guys could take the 4x1. Well, how do you think your team is built so far?
Well, from the start of like we don't even have a good team, but hopefully we'll go out there and give it our all.
Yeah, like you said, we are on home soil, so you have to give it your all no matter what. If you think you could win, if you think you could lose, every point matters, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Well, go rest up and all the best for the rest of the games.
Thanks.
All right. Boys, can you give us your name, please?
My name is Nathaniel Mack. Yeah.
And how was the race for you?
Well, the race was, I started off a little bit slow, but then at the end I just pulled through and won.
Yeah. I noticed you had a really strong finish. Was that a tactic that you wanted to use during the race?
Yeah, it's a tactic because that's how I normally run my race at the ending of the season. To see how much I could cover. Yeah.
Right. To usually finish stronger towards the end. That's a really good tactic to have, especially if you had a previous race. Did you do the 100 meters?
Yeah.
Oh, you did the 100 meters.
I did the 100 meter. I came second. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you have you had a really busy day so far doing the 100 and the 200. Do you have any other events coming up?
Yeah. I have the 4x100 meters and that's it.
4x1 and that's it. All right, then all the best for the rest of the games.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. There we had it, the 200 meter champion for the games from Grenada. Right now we have a former representative of St. Lucia in the Windward Island Games. What year did you participate in the Windward Island Games?
I participated in 2014, 15 and 16. 2016 was my last year in Grenada.
Wow, so you had 3 years where you participated. That's quite impressive. How were those games for you?
2014 and 15 was a bit difficult because that's when the teams finally got together and we started training for the first time together.
Right.
But 2016, all of us played for 3 years together, so that was actually the year where we came first in basketball.
Okay.
And it was a tough match. Like we beat St. Vincent, we beat Grenada, but we thought Grenada would have been a competition because they beat us every time.
Okay.
But Dominica was actually a competition, and we actually went into extra time with Dominica.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a hard match, but we ended up winning by 10. So.
Wow, that's wonderful. And like we said, folks, it's not just about track and field. There's other sports involved, such as men and women basketball, men and women volleyball, netball, and football. And you said you participated in the basketball. How was training preparation for it?
Training preparation was actually, I wouldn't say it was complicated, but it was efficient for us.
Yeah.
It was different drills like shooting, dribbling, fitness, and everything. So it was good.
That's good. And with the Windward Island Games, it gives you an opportunity to travel to different countries. How was your travel experience?
The traveling experience was actually fun. I got to meet new friends from different countries, and till this day I still keep in touch with them.
Yeah.
So if I ever want to travel, I have people over there.
Right,
it was actually a really good experience.
Yeah, and we see how sports, builds lifelong friendships. As you said, you have friends you could travel through each country. What other aspects of sports you think could apply to real life?
I think sports could also help with cooperation, discipline.
Cooperation and discipline, which is extremely important. Yeah, to have in the working world, and also dedication, focus, and all that good stuff. Yeah, thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, we didn't get your name. Can I get your name, please?
My name is Romani.
Romani. There we have it. We just had Romani, a former representative of St. Lucia at the Windward Island Games. Thank you.
Thanks.
And there are 1500 meter dash girls. Coming up the stretch is Grenada, Benson, followed by St. Lucia, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's cheer on them. Come on, come on. St. Vincent, followed by Grenada. St. Vincent, St. Lucia. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, cheer on our ladies. Come on. One more round to go. We have Grenada leading, St. Vincent followed by St. Vincent and St. Lucia next. Still leading the pack, we have Grenada followed by St. Vincent.
Yeah, you doing that right.
St. Vincent will be challenging Grenada, and Grenada leading.
1500 meters, girls. The last 200. We have St. Vincent closing in on Grenada, who currently has the lead. This is about to be an exciting finish. St. Vincent is coming on strong. We have Grenada in first, St. Vincent second, and St. Lucia third. And it's St. Vincent closing in. She just passed Grenada. We also have third place for St. Vincent. She's also moving up on Grenada, who's currently in second. Will she be able to pass her? St. Vincent all the way, St. Vincent. And we have St. Vincent for the win unofficially, but clearly she is the winner. We have Grenada in second place and St. Vincent again in third place. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had the 1500 meters women. We have St. Lucia coming in currently fourth place, finishing strong as she can. And we have Grenada in fifth place. We just had the 1500 meters, the event which is 3 3/4 laps. They start on the back stretch, run the third 3/4 and run 3 laps after, which is the longest event we have for today, the 1500 meters. We'll have the 1500 meters men in just a moment. But St. Vincent coming in 1 and 3. Wow, they came out today in full force. And straight from the race, we're gonna interview the St. Vincent and the Grenadines runner. Hi, what's your name?
Cesar Vincent.
Cesar Vincent, how was the race for you?
Good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
What tactic did you employ during the race?
I take my time and run when I reach the bend. Get me to my lap.
You finished strong. What other events would you be participating in?
4x4.
4x4? All right, go take a race. Congratulations with your race. Okay. It's a very extremely tiring race, so we completely understand she didn't want to finish the entire interview, but we still have 2 athletes coming in. We have Dominica and St. Lucia finishing. It's a battle going on. Dominica and St. Lucia, a battle. Dominica, St. Lucia. St. Lucia's coming back. St. Lucia coming back, and it's Dominica slightly cutting her off towards the end to take that race. Again, we had St. Vincent first, Grenada second, and St. Vincent third again. St. Vincent currently racking up points everywhere, here, there, and there, to be able to win the first event of the 2018 Windward Island School Games. the track and field aspect of the games. We also currently have the boys high jump going on. The starting point was 1.6 meters and the bar is being raised by 5 centimeters each round, and once they get to 1.9 meters they will be going up to 3 centimeters. We have one more athlete left in the 1500 meter girls, a Dominican. She's about to finish. Again, we also have the high jump going. The starting point for the boys was 1.6 meters. We go up 5 centimeters each round, and once we get to 1.9 meters we go up by 3 more centimeters. We have one more Dominican athlete. Let's just clap her in as she finishes. Remember, every point matters, so as long as she finishes the event she will receive 1 point for her team. As long as she finishes the event she will receive 1 point.
Up on the track left, we have boys 1,500 meters. In lane 1, we have Dominica, lane 2, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, lane 3, Grenada, lane 4, Grenada, lane 5, St. Lucia, lane 6, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, lane 7, St. Lucia, and lane 8, Dominica. This evening, the official opening ceremony will be having Alpha and the Evolution Band. Stay tuned for Alpha and the Evolution Band. And it's the boys 1,500 meters. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please cheer on the boys? Cheer on the boys.
We currently have the boys 1500 meters. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. We now have Shama Filgens with us. She'll be co-hosting. And we have the commencement of the 1500 meters. He is out rather quickly. We have St. Lucia currently 1-2 in the 1500 meters. I believe that's Asa Francis and Tariq Xavier. Again, Asa Francis and Tariq Xavier out 1 and 2 currently for the 1500 meters.
But the competition is stiff. Grenada and St. Vincent, they're looking to take the lead. Let's see if they can hold it up.
You could just see the focus on the two St. Lucian athletes' faces. They know they have home court advantage. They're going to go out there and perform the best that they can, and they're showing a strong outing right now.
Very, very, very true. But I see St. Vincent looking to take the lead though. Grenada, not so much. The stronger persons look like St. Lucia and St. Vincent.
Kind of. But keep in mind, it's the 1500 meters, and it's technically a long race. Well, not long, but mid-distance, but longer than most athletes anticipate. So we have a long way to go. So hopefully they could maintain the lead that they currently have.
I told you, look, St. Vincent's coming.
St. Vincent is looking rather strong in this year's edition of the games. What do you say?
Oh, yes. They've come up from out of the blue. It's surprising, to be honest. They have first in almost every race they've run. So Let's see. Will St. Vincent take the championship this year? What do you think?
It's quite interesting because last year they actually placed third in the track and field segment of the event, but this year they actually lead in this segment. So
They are leader. Oh,
there we go, St. Vincent moving up.
and Grenada.
And Grenada. But our St. Lucian athletes are still in the mix, currently 2nd and 4th place. We could still pull this one off if we remain level-headed.
2 rounds to go. Let's see.
2 rounds.
I think St. Lucia will take it home though.
I'm hoping St. Lucia will take it home. Absolutely. We are here at the George Orlem Stadium. We have home court advantage, so hopefully we could come through with this
Do
victory.
you see the gap right now? The gap is unbelievable.
It's actually increasing. He's really having a strong race right now, ladies and gentlemen.
It's very strong, and I don't think we can come back from that. So let's see if we take the 2nd and 3rd.
Right. But we're maintaining very, very well. We have a 2nd place and 4th. So hopefully those 2 athletes will get on the podium. We see the Grenadian making a move actually right now on the St. Lucian athlete to take 2nd place. And right now we're in 3rd and 4th. Remember, you receive 9 points for 1st place, 7 points for 2nd place, and it goes down all the way down to 1 point for 8th place.
Look at him, he is strong, ladies and gentlemen. This man is. No,
You have one more lap. You have one more lap.
Oh no! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my
What just happened? He thought the race was done and he walked off. Technically, he may be disqualified for walking off the track. Oh my goodness.
He didn't actually walk off.
Did he step off?
No, he began and they stopped him. Oh my goodness.
I hope he did not step off the track, ladies and gentlemen. If he did step off the track, he will be disqualified, however.
Wow.
But he is still coming back strongly to finish the race. He's still attacking, but we have St. Lucia. We have St. Lucia coming in on the backstretch. He's attacking. St. Lucia is currently in 1st place. We have 200 meters to go. Grenada counter-attack. He's holding on strongly. Grenada countered attack and he is currently in 1st place, but we have St. Lucia in 2nd place, holding on strong. We could see another counter-attack if possible. Let's hear the cheers from the crowds. The crowd is ecstatic right now because St. Lucia is coming in.
The policeman is having problems keeping the crowd back though. As you can see, you have an officer in the middle and in the front.
Trying to keep the crowd back, but we have Grenada coming through with the win unofficially. St. Lucia 2nd place, followed by the St. Vincent in 3rd place. Who would have been the winner, right? Who would have been the winner? But unfortunately, he stepped off, well, not stepped off the track, but he stepped away from the track. He stopped.
We have 4th place, St. Lucia.
We have 4th place, and we have Dominica coming in also, a Grenada, and the other St. Vincent athlete.
Can you believe what just happened, Mike?
This is so bizarre and awkward because as an athlete, you're supposed to keep count of the amount of laps you have in your mind in the race, right? Because the race is 3 3/4, so you run the 3/4 lap and you have 3 more laps after this. You wait for the bell lap. The bell lap is the lap, the bell. Once you hit the bell, it means you have one more lap to go.
Your last lap. Oh
But
my
unfortunately,
goodness. We have the young man from St. Vincent, so he placed 3rd.
let's just turn. What was going through your mind in the race? The camera is right here, so let's turn in this direction. What was going through your mind in this race?
While I was in the race, I think that was the last lap I was going to, so I didn't listen to the bell.
Yeah, because I noticed you had a strong command of the race. You looked very well and poised to win the race, but unfortunately you just stepped off the mat, didn't it?
Yeah, but as I was going the last lap, I couldn't catch myself.
Oh, I see.
So I just have to run my race.
Run your race, right? Did you actually step off the track or did you not?
I nearly.
You nearly, yeah, because if you did step off, it would have been a disqualification. Yeah. But it is quite unfortunate. Sorry that this happened. But you still came in and placed 3rd. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel good about it because I still placed.
Right, exactly. Well, congratulations. You still placed. Very unfortunate that had to happen to you. Do you have any other events coming up?
No, I ain't think so.
Not anything soon. Well, all the best for the rest of the games and for Team St. Vincent.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Congratulations on your win. Can I get your name, please?
My name is Michael Francois.
What was going through your mind during that race? Because you must have seen the St. Vincent guy. He was all the way towards the front, but then he stopped. At that point, what did you think?
I know I was going to win. I know I could have pulled it through.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to worry.
Yeah. If it was me, at that point, I'll be thinking, okay, he just stepped off the track. That's the perfect time to make a move, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Because what did you think of the St. Lucians? They moved earlier on in the race, but you didn't follow with them.
I know I could have come back, so I didn't worry, and I just stay. And I didn't stay in too much back.
Right.
So when coming closer, I know I could come up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's a great strategy to race. Always run your own race, and you did that today, and you end up being victorious. Do you have any other events for the rest of the meet?
The 4x4.
The 4x4. Okay, we look forward to see you in the 4x4. All the best.
Thanks.
Thank you. There we had it, the winner of the 1500 meters boys. And we have the second place finisher from St. Lucia in the 1500 meter boys. Can you just state your name for us, please?
Tariq Xavier.
Tariq Xavier. You guys went out in a blistering pace. Was that the plan?
Well, yeah, that was a plan if I want to just run hard and try and win in front of my home crowd. But unfortunately, before the race, I was feeling my quadriceps were a little tight. So
a little tight.
Yeah.
That's quite unfortunate. But you still had a good show in the sense that you were able to play second. What did you think when the St. Vincent and the Grenadines athlete stepped off the track or thought the race was done?
Well, I was kind of expecting that because these guys, I raced them at Carifta and I beat them. So I was wondering like, how are you going so fast?
Yeah.
So early in the race. Then when I see stop, then I say, okay, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
So I just continue at my pace and
Oh, I see. Because he clearly thought it was the last lap, but it didn't well work out for him. Do you have any other events coming up?
Maybe the 4x4.
The 4x4?
Yeah.
All right. And what do you think of the energy and the atmosphere of the game so far?
It's good. I like to see that parents going and support the children. Yeah, it makes me feel good. Because normally our local meets would have so many supporters. So makes the place a little more lively.
More lively?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much and congratulations in your second place.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right. There we are, the second place finisher of the 1500 meters boys. Quite a bizarre series of events as we saw this athlete stepped out, but that's how it is sometimes. It's very unpredictable in track and field.
Wow, I needed to take a break. I'm so sorry. I was baffled by what just happened.
Yeah.
If you see him right now, he's very disappointed in himself, and I can understand because you had first place in hand by 6 miles, and it's just gone. You did not see this?
I would have been quite disappointed also. Had that happened to me, I would have looked for a hole and just put myself in that hole.
So you can understand. That was 6 miles.
I can understand. It was a clear victory for him. But nevertheless, he was still satisfied that he was able to come back and place third. So that's quite impressive. The fact that he stopped and then he came back and still placed third, kudos to him.
A lot of people can't do that.
Exactly.
I must say that's good.
It shows some resilience by him, because some people would have just been like, I'm done, I'll just walk off. But he still had the mindset and the mentality that, hey, the race is not done, I should continue. He continued, he did, and he placed third. So it was great for him. He was able to get points for his team.
Hopefully Team St. Vincent is okay with that as well.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, you saw it first. Stay tuned.
Right.
The brass stands at 1.75 meters with 7 competitors still in competition. After the first round of short put, in third place we have Rashan Houston from Grenada, John Toussaint of Dominica, and Johan Jeremiah from Grenada. After the third round.
athletes them break coming down the bell, so what's the start ringing? When the athletes them break coming down the bell, so what's the start ringing the bell? I don't ring the bell too late.
I ring the bell too late. When do you ring the bell? When you reach right out?
When she had to ring the bell.
When the man should get out today. When he gets Thursday, like that.
When a man break,
he come there wrong, he see two. When a man break, he see two. He come on the last time, he see two. And then he just take up like a madman and notice it at my fault. Come on. If you run it, you don't get better. You're supposed to.
Yeah, but you're supposed to ring the bell all than that. By the time the man, the athletes break, he's straight at the track. The bell is supposed to start ringing. You can't wait till the man till athletes reach them to ring the bell. At least focusing on the run, at least starting to watch they're being guided by the bell. That's the last one. You cannot wait till athlete reach the finish line to ring a bell. When athlete is running, they're focusing on the run. When the man reach right there, the bell ring. The man was farther down here when the bell ring.
You blaming me? How can you blaming me?
Mama, how long you involved in athletics? When the athletes break the home stretch, the bell will start to off. You don't want to do it. You've been in athletics for a long time.
Long time. That's why it's a long time. But you have to supposed to know that you just run.
So what you know that? So what do you think? So if the athletes are working on it, what is the purpose of ringing the bell?
I've never seen a fellow ring the bell when the bell comes up to the last. I've never seen that. I have never seen anybody ring the bell when the bell comes on the corner. I have never seen it. I've never seen the bell come on the corner. Nah. Up to yesterday I was in athletics. Up to yesterday I was in athletics. Athletics is the sport I call the most in athletics. I never see a ring the bell when a man comes on the corner. Never seen it nowhere. You may have seen it, I've never seen it. I've never seen it nowhere in athletics. If you've seen it, you probably have a different TV too.
When you see them ringing bell,
I've never seen a ring the bell when a man comes on the corner.
when they reach close to the finish.
I've never seen it. This way you play when it's at the ring.
Yeah, but you ring the bell when the man reach here.
Yeah, get the bell. It's the only one finish.
So you get a bell in finishing? Yeah. You get no bell in finishing? You get no bell in finishing? You get no bell in finishing? But you get no bell? We need to know why this has changed. Is the meat director? Because it's the same thing that they discussed. That's why they discussed the Doc Salon. It's 6 they give them. Huh? Yeah, I think.
And we're back live at the 2018 Windward of drama is unfolding.
Drama?
Yes, drama. So the 1500 meters race which just went by the boys, you remember the St. Vincent and the Grenadines athlete, he actually did step off the track and went into the grass. Yes, he did. So he was clearly disqualified. But now his team management is stating that the bell was not rung early enough to notify the athlete that it was indeed the last lap. So we have a bit of protesting going on as to what is going to happen.
What do you think, because this is your area, what do you think can happen? Because clearly, I thought he didn't, but
yeah,
he said that he did.
He did. So the rules for track and field, once you step outside the field, you are automatically disqualified. However, the argument is that the bell wasn't rung early enough to notify the athlete of the last lap. So if that is indeed the case, his disqualification may not be warranted.
So, but how do you decide that though?
Well, there is a technical manual where they have all the rules and regulations in it. So they're going to search through all the rules and regulations to identify and to try to, just clear up any ambiguity in terms of the bell, was it rung too late? If it was indeed rung too late, then he will not be disqualified and his points will stand. If it was rung at the right time and he was not clear and just stepped off the track, he will be disqualified.
But we're going to need a review because how will you know when the bell was rung or not? Because technically he walked and then some people may say that they heard the bell after he walked. So you still need a playback. How will you get a playback?
Yeah, well, hopefully we have Hawkeye or something to tell us exactly when the bell was rung. And see what happens. And even so, if the games come down and the points are really, really close,
which they will be,
it will be, the point standing will be very close. One could beg the question that, hey, what if he was not disqualified and they're missing just a few more points and they could have won, or what if he was disqualified and some of the team happened to pass them as a result of that? We don't know, ladies and gentlemen.
So
we don't know.
It is hot. It just became tight.
It is hot as the temperature out here, which is not that hot. Thankfully, we have a wind. Thank God we have a slight breeze coming for our back. If not, this place would have been an oven, because usually Viewfort, it gets really hot in this area. But thankfully, we have a sea breeze coming in and it's not extremely humid. If it wasn't for this, it would have been really bad conditions to compete in today.
Well, stay tuned so that we can see and let you know what's happening, because ladies and gentlemen, it just got real.
Yeah.
It got real.
Very real. As you guys can see behind us, we currently have the long jump going on, the boys' long jump, and the St. Lucian athlete looks to be doing very well. He had a really big jump a while ago, and he looks to be in the rankings for medal contention.
Sneak peek. I think he jumped a 6.
He did.
Unofficially.
I did hear 6 point something, which is a really good jump at these games. An excellent jump. We also have the high jump going on simultaneously with the long jump, which is quite interesting because sometimes you have athletes tend to do both the high and the long jump. So I'm not sure who organized the events, the order of events, but in future reference, we probably should not have the boys high jump and long jump going on simultaneously.
But how? Question. If we have an athlete doing both, how does that affect his performance? Because this is both events that rely mainly on your feet.
Yeah, and both are strength-based events. That's a good question. If you have athletes doing both events, usually you want to have an hour to 2 hours rest between those two events so that the athlete could recover and come back and compete.
But it's very tight today. It is extremely tight. So can people say that is going to affect the athlete's performance?
Possibly. The schedule is really, really tight. I believe the most rest that the athletes have between events is just a little bit over an hour, which is not very. It's cutting it very close. Because you have these athletes going all out, using all the energy for each event, and then to come back and repeat that performance within an hour is not very good for the games. It's not very.
However, although it's cutting it close and enjoying every last national pride that each person has, I have to say national pride right about now because it is difficult.
Right.
It is hot. You don't have support from home. You just have to rely on your team, and you push in on the court. I give them 2 thumbs up.
Right.
Yes.
At the end of the day, some of these athletes, they are functioning on pure will, especially athletes who have to do the 800 and the 1500 or the 400 and the 800. Those races require a lot of strength, a lot of energy. It takes a lot out of your legs. So just trying to recover for those is a challenge within itself. But kudos to them. Great job by these athletes so far. Today, they're all coming out. They're all putting their heart and soul into the events.
Yes, that is very, very true. I took a walk around the field just now, and you could see everybody's out their seats. When we started, everybody was sitting. But right now, everybody, supporters, the guests, everybody is up on their feet. So this means that we have a real competition right about now.
Yeah, and it's really hyping up. I feel like the energy level of the athletes and the spectators are really starting to come alive.
It is.
Because it's getting intense. It is getting intense. Everyone is here to win and to represent the country the best that they possibly can. And sometimes it requires you going out there and doing something extraordinary.
Which they are doing. I must say, ladies and gentlemen, extraordinary right now is Team St. Vincent. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Because they have upsets.
They have.
The powerhouse.
Grenada.
Oh my
Grenada,
God.
who have been dominating the track and field events for the past few years. Absolutely dominating, absolutely decimating everyone in their path. But now we have St. Vincent upstaging, and St. Vincent sometimes tend to be the underdog in those games, especially for the track and field aspect.
Yes.
But this year, they're not playing. They came out.
Personally, from last year when I was there with them, they did come, but this year they came. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, these people stepped off the plain red carpet. Because what I'm seeing on the track today,
Right.
woo, I'm inspired. I might put my boots back.
Oh, there we go. Oh, look at you. Look at you. What event would you be participating in, if possible? If you had a choice?
I'll get back to you on that one.
It's okay. It's okay. We already know my favorite event is the 800 meters.
Ain't nobody doing that one.
It's just 2 laps. Come on.
You know how long 2 laps is?
It's not that long.
2 minutes.
It's like 1 and not 2 minutes. You need to do it faster than 2 minutes. I mean, 2 minutes for a female is exceptional. That's world-class time.
You see?
But 2 minutes for a guy is like, no.
So that's too much work right there. So I'm thinking maybe a throw.
A throw.
A throw.
Such as
The hammer.
the hammer.
I've always wanted to do that.
We don't have hammer throws today, but speaking of the throws, we currently have the female discus going on in the discus area. And the discus is a really difficult throw because it's usually difficult to grip the implement. The challenge is actually holding the implement.
Right.
Exactly. You have to use the far extension of your fingertips. Pretty much your fingertips. That's why we have in the discus area, we usually have up curtains to prevent the discus from slipping, because usually it slips from the hands, and if it slips and hits a spectator or someone, it could be fatal because it's a very heavy implement. So we usually have the curtains to prevent the implement from going any further. And we also have a sector just like the shot put. So once you've thrown, you have to exit the back of the sector. If you exit the front area of the sector, you will be disqualified. And also if the implement goes out of the designated sector, which is the lines along the ground, again, it makes a V shape, right, away from the thrower, you will be disqualified. So the 2 main rules you have to remember: exit through the back of the sector and do not allow the discus to go out of the designated area.
True.
This is the first call for the girls 400 meters. Girls 400 meters, this is your first call. Calling on Maya Hippolyte, Sia George, Yolanda Lewis. Please come to the tent next to the finish line. to receive their medals, Maya Tripoli. Calling on all the medal winners for the girls 200-meter dash. Jamisha Miles, Yolanda Lewis, and Kimani Alphonse.
And we're back live at the 2018 Windward Islands School Games. We have a quick update on the men's shot put. Currently in first place, Jeremiah of Grenada. We have Toussaint of Dominica and Houston of Grenada. So we have Grenada first and third currently in the men's shot put.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, these throws look like world record throws. Do you see this?
That's pretty far. We have first place with 14.88 meters, second place with 12.22 meters, and third place with 11.47 meters. And the event is still going on, however, this is just an update. This is not the final result.
Well, if this is not the final results, ladies and gentlemen, we are out for knots.
Yeah.
14.88.
It's a pretty strong throw by the Dominican. By the Grenadian, who is currently in first place, and the Dominican in second and Grenada in third place. So we see Grenada just starting to rack up some points.
However, St. Lucia is not too far. We are fourth and fifth with 11.47.
Yeah, we're currently in fourth and in fifth.
Right.
So hopefully we could throw even better than this. What do you think?
I think we have hope because I saw them, and if they just pull it and throw it and pelt it, they can pelt it. I don't think they can pelt it.
Not exactly pelt. Shot put is one of those technical throws where you have to really get it off your neck. But there's two types of throws. There's the standing throw and there's the spin throw. So the spin throw gives you a little bit of momentum where you can throw it a little bit further opposed to just a standing throw. So hopefully we use the spin throw to give us that extra momentum we need to push it further.
I saw, well, as you mentioned, I did see a few spins.
Right.
I saw it, and ladies and gentlemen, that's technical. All of this.
Yeah, and just like the discus, right? There's also a throwing area for the throwers, which is a circle, and you have to exit from the back. If you exit from the front, you're disqualified. And you also have a throwing sector, which is again V-shaped. If you happen to throw outside of that designated area, your throw will not count and it will be disqualified.
You're missing one thing, however. I saw a white blocky thing, and somebody touched it.
If you do touch that white blocky thingy, like you say, it's not a white blocky thingy. It's just a barrier you have in front. You will be disqualified also if you step on it or touch it. So the athletes have to be very careful in not touching that thing. And it's really a way of control. It's all about control power. You have to be powerful to throw the shot put, yet still you have to be controlled enough to be aware of where your body is at so you do not touch the floor.
Very true. And sadly, this athlete did touch and he was disqualified.
Sad, this is really sad.
I mean, there's not much you can get disqualified with shot put. Well, apart from
those two things.
The two things,
but the good thing, however, is that you don't just have one attempt. You have 3 attempts. So it's not a one and done thing. You have 3 attempts to throw. So if you do get disqualified one time, then you could come back and throw 2 more times. And also, they take your best throw. So it's not an average of the throws that you have. It only takes 1 out of the 3 throws to win the event. 1 good throw. So you could disqualify 2 of your throws, but have 1 major throw and you will be able to pull out the win.
Which has a lot of people get mistaken because they saw the first throw as their furthest throw and they, yes, I've done it. No, ladies and gentlemen, it does not work that way. I could come back from the back with my last throw and pelt it out and take the gold, which is where I'm going. This is why I'm going to throws, because running is too much work. You know how much work running is?
Throws involve a lot of work also. You have to lift, you have to do plyos, you have to be really strong, really controlled. You also have to be agile because you have to move your body. You have to be coordinated. Are you coordinated? Can you even dance? Questionable. Anyways, you have to be very coordinated for throws. And with that coordination and power, you're able to pelt that thing out. That was a good kind of dance move. They was playing the song The Cripple earlier on. Ladies and gentlemen, Shama, she plays rugby and she happened to injure one of her knees whilst playing. So now the only dance she could actually do is the cripple.
Oh no, you didn't. You did not just do that.
You threw shade earlier on, I'm sorry. It's okay. Tit for tat.
I'm telling. I am so telling.
It's okay. Coming up next, we have the 400-meter females. This is one of my personal favorite races, my second favorite race because I do it obviously, but it's my second favorite race after the 800 meters. It's 1 lap around the entire field, and let me tell you from experience, the lactic and the pain you feel after this race is it is unbearable. Some athletes just have to lay flat on the ground until that pain goes away and they're able to stand back up. Anyone who has done track and field will tell you the 400 and the 800 are the 2 most gruesome races in the sport of track and field. Yeah, of course, you could do that. You know, just a little bit of pain, lactic pain, you feel it. You also feel it maybe a few days after you feel soreness. The 400 hurdles also is difficult. It is. But today we only have the 4 and the 800 meters. So this is about to be extremely exciting race. Again, we have 8 athletes competing in each individual event. We have 2 athletes from each team. We have Grenada, Dominica, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia, our very own St. Lucia. So we're about to see 2 of each athletes compete in the 400 meters. It's about to be an exciting one. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, St. Lucia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal awards for girls 800 meter run. In third place, we have Kiva Pierre from Dominica. Kiva Pierre from Dominica, running a time of 2 minutes, 23 seconds. Presenting the awards is Mr. Benson Emil, who is the chairman of the National Launching Authority of St. Lucia. In first place, from Dominica, we have Kiva Pierre. And in second place, from the island of Grenada, we have Kellyanne Alexander. From the beautiful island of St. Vincent, we have Sister Vincent. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our 800 meter run ladies. I'd like to find Mr. Benson Emil, who is the chairman of the National Lotteries Authority of St. Lucia.
They're taking the medals, they'll move next. I can't make them move.
Next on the track, we have the girls 400 meter dash. In one, we have CC Towers of Grenada. In lane 2, we have Alia Estefan of St. Lucia. In lane 3, Daniel Green of Dominica. In lane 4, Shamisha Marks of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In lane 6, Kimani Alphonse of St. Lucia. In lane 7, Kiva Pierre of Dominica. And in lane 8, Shania Lynch of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And we're about to have the 400 meters female, the last individual racing event for today. It's about to be an exciting one, as we have Kimani, I almost said Kimani Meldrews, you know, the cricketer. I know, his name almost slipped off my tongue. He's a St. Lucian cricketer. But we actually have Kimani Alphonse, right? Kimani Alphonse, who actually won the 200 meters. She's about to do battle again in the 400 meters. So let's see if she could double in the 2 and the 4. That would be quite impressive.
I'm thinking she's gonna double.
She's gonna double? I believe she is. She had a really strong race. Hopefully she could follow in the footsteps of Alana Paul of last year. She won the 100, the 200, and the 400. All in one day, ladies and gentlemen. 3 races all in one day.
For that, I was there, and it was phenomenal. This girl just took it. The 100, we were okay for the 100. We were like, yeah, that's healthy.
Yeah.
And she went down the tracks. I was like, okay.
Got it.
200 came down. I was like,
boom.
Okay. The
Yeah.
gap. And then 400. She
was
doesn't run
out
the
of there.
400. 400.
Yeah.
And she took it, and we were like, what?
Yeah. She has a really long stride,
Yes,
so
she does.
it helps
Yes,
to her
she does.
advantage. She also did the relays, I would think,
Yes,
right?
she did. She did
Both of them?
No.
I was about to be like,
You remember that lactic acid you talked about?
Yeah, I know. It catches up eventually. It does.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it does not take away from her performance. An absolutely outstanding performance. She was able to get 27 points all by herself because first place is 9 points. So 27 points all by herself. That is
That's
quite
phenomenal.
impressive.
And she,
spectacular.
I think that was her one of her best performances because she pulled out everything. She literally laid everything on the field because, ladies and gentlemen, 2 races, what, 4? Back to back?
Back to back, all in one day.
That's unheard of.
Unheard of. And St. Lucia actually won last year. The women aspect of the track and field, the girls, they were able to place first place last year in St. Vincent. So hopefully we could repeat this performance. The men, however, last year placed second. So hopefully we could go one up and place first this year and just win the whole thing. That's what we're out here for, right?
Yes, that's what we want. That's what we're rooting for. That's what is needed.
That is what's needed. But it's not going to be easy because we have 3 other outstanding teams, St. Vincent, Grenada and Dominica, all equally wanting this win just as bad as we do. So
it's not equal. It's not equal.
We all want to win equally. Everyone wants to win equally. It is.
Vincent wants it more than anybody else.
Yeah, I think St. Vincent has a point to prove, especially in the past few years. They haven't done so well in the track and field aspect. So they're really out here trying to prove this point, and they have made a statement so far.
They've left their imprint on this track. Nobody can say different.
Yeah,
of
they
all
have
the
made a
years
mark.
that they've been here and hosted or gone across islands, they have left an imprint that nobody will forget anytime soon.
And this is what we want to see with these games, iron sharpen iron. We want to see these athletes compete at the highest level that they possibly can and as competitively as they can. And that's what we have today. And that is adding up to the excitement. We're about to quiet down for the commencement of the 400 meters. It's about to be a really good one. It's a 1-lap event. Everyone remains in their lap for the entirety of the race.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous. You're not even competing. Do you want to make me nervous? We're on live TV right now. I don't want to be nervous on live TV.
If you see the lineup.
I know, it's quite a lineup. We have our very own Alphonse in lane 2. Look out for lane 2, ladies and gentlemen. She will have a quick start, I'm sure, because she is the 200-meter champion this year for the 2018 Windward Island School Games. Oh, lane 6. She's in lane 6. Oh, we have our other St. Lucian athlete in 2. Correction, she's in lane 6 and she is out of there. She's out of there. But we have the Grenadian athlete chasing her on the backstretch using a lot of arms. Usually for these races, you want to use less arms in the middle of the race and save your arms for the end of the race. But she looks very, very relaxed right now.
Yes.
Kimani looks very relaxed. As we come into the last 200, she is clearly ahead of everyone. We have Grenada trailing, coming up strongly. We also have St. Lucia out of lane 2 also. Our other St. Lucian, Aliyah. Yes, Aliyah is coming through in lane 2. And it's Kimani. She needs to maintain. Once she maintains, she will be strong. She's coming in strong. She's coming in strong. She is blowing them away, ladies and gentlemen. It is Kimani Alphonse with the win, and she doubles in the 2 and the 400. We see St. Vincent finish strongly also, and Grenada possibly coming in third. Oh my goodness.
I told you.
What a race.
You see, look at you.
What
Look at you.
a race.
Hold on, let me check your pulse.
My pulse is, I'm still pretty calm, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. That was an extremely exciting, phenomenal race by the young woman. She showed so much class and poise. She executed very well. She went out. She is running off the high that she had in the 200. She's like, hey, we home right now. We're gonna show them what's up.
I'm showing what's up.
Yeah.
She was confident. You saw it in the way she
Absolutely
just
confident.
the first corner, she took the first bend. Like, I'm coming, I'm just feeling you out, I'm coming. And she took it. And
She's like, welcome to my house.
Welcome home.
Welcome everyone else. Welcome Dominica. Welcome Grenada. Welcome St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is St. Lucia.
And then bye.
Bye.
And then bye.
We're gonna take over.
It was
A good race.
Oh, there we have number 2.
Number 2. Okay. We have second place St. Vincent and the Grenadines. How was the race for you?
Well, it was great.
What did you think of the start or the finish? What was your technique? The camera is right here, so let's turn this way.
Well, in the start, I jog off, and in the end, I sprint came up.
Yeah, I noticed you had a really strong finish. What if you kicked earlier? Do you think you would be able to catch the St. Lucian athlete?
Yes, I would have.
You would have. Okay. What other events do you have for today?
The long jump,
The long jump.
the 4x4 and 4x1.
Wow, you have a quite busy day ahead of you. All the best for the rest of the games.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's ready. Oh, she's not ready. Okay.
You remember the lactic acid you spoke about?
Yes, we could see that the floor is currently the ground, is littered with athletes all over, just sitting, rolling over, trying to find the most comfortable position that you can to feel the least amount of pain. But let me tell you, there's no comfortable position. Once you feel it, you could lay on your back, on your belly, on your head. It doesn't matter on your side. It doesn't matter where you lie. You're gonna feel that pain in your hamstrings, and it's always the hamstrings. The hamstrings to the glutes. They tighten up. It's just, it's unnerving. You cannot move. Sometimes you walk like this, to help, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help. No matter how you walk, no matter how you move, you're gonna feel that pain.
Quite surprised that the young lady was up and ready to
Yeah, the St. Vincent athlete.
Like, wow.
She's really strong. She looks like a really strong athlete. She was up and walking. She was like, maybe if I had kicked earlier, she would have been able to catch the St. Lucian. And she has a point because she had a really strong finish. Her tactic was to jog the first 200 and finish strongly, it clearly worked for her. She was able to place second. But just a little bit earlier, one could question what would have happened.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I
You're
don't
like,
think
nah,
so.
she had
No,
it. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
That's the St. Lucian speaking in you.
Did you see the stretch?
It was a pretty big lead. It was a pretty big
The
lead.
only way she would have been able to take that is if she started strong.
Yeah,
and
a little bit
maintained
stronger.
it.
Yeah. Well, it's all about a learning process, for those athletes. So moving forward, she will, implement better strategies in future races so she could get better results, I believe. And she's pretty young. The thing about the games is that most of these athletes are very young, so it's a learning and growing experience for them. And here we have Kamiani Alphonse just walking in front of our camera. Please come through so we could interview. You just doubled in the 2 and the 400 meters. How do you feel right now?
I feel good.
You feel good?
But I feel tired, so I want to go back to the hotel and sleep.
You want to go back to the hotel and sleep already? Do you have any events coming up again?
4x1 and 4x4.
You have 4x1 and 4x4, but you want to sleep? Come on, we gotta go. All right, so we won't make this interview very long. We're gonna catch up with you later, however. Go rest up your legs, put them up, do whatever you have to do to recover, because you have the 4x1 and the 4x4 later on. See you. You're welcome. Bye.
And there you have it, the double bubbler.
Double bubble, right? That's a nice term. Double bubble. She's quite exhausted, but she still has the 4x1 and 4x4 to go.
Look at the welcome.
There we go, the welcome. She have her own parade already, mini parade. That's so cool. But your work is not done yet, young lady. You still have the 4x1, 4x4. Go, rest up, focus, and we'll see you later on. All right, so we're about to have the men's 4x400 meters. It's the last. I'm thinking of the 4x4 already. I'm so yo.
What is with you and this
The relay
relay?
is so hyped. The relay is the most hyped part. We're gonna have them towards the end. But we're about to have the 400 meters men. For St. Lucia, we have Amani Modest and Jade Nobal.
That name sounds very familiar.
It does sound familiar. We have lanes 3 and lanes 7, ladies and gentlemen. Look out for lanes 3 and lane 7, our fellow St. Lucians. We also have 2 other Dominicans, 2 other Grenadians, and 2 other St. Vincents in the race.
Well,
Let us quiet
who do
down
you
for the
think,
beginning of the
Ladies
race.
and gentlemen, who do you think is going to take it home? We have a very, very strong team. I can tell you that off the bat.
We have a packed field also.
Yes, we do. We do. And the silence is killing. Like,
The calm before the storm.
yes, you can cut the tension with a knife. And it's a hush. You can get a pin drop.
He held them for quite long. Oh. I could tell you, this is nerve-wracking. When the gun is supposed to go off and it doesn't pop, it's like your heart stops just for a moment, and then you realize it's not a false start or anything, so you get to go back to the line. Because the new rule now in athletics is that one false start and you automatically disqualify.
Yes.
which doesn't make sense because sometimes you tend to be nervous, you tend to be a bit jittery, so it's expected human error, you may accidentally false start. But unfortunately for those athletes, there is no second chance. You false start, you're immediately out. The previous rule, however, you had 2 chances, right? The first false start was an offense against the entire field and would run again, and then if someone else false start again, then you would be disqualified. But that rule was revised and they got rid of it. As of now, 1 false start and that is it. And we're about to set again. The athletes are currently in the blocks.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm telling you, the pressure, the everything is just intense.
Like, oh my God!
We
have another and possible false start.
It's a possible false start, but in this instance, I believe it was the gun, so we will not have any disqualifications. It was a slight false start by the Dominican athlete, if you were to look. But I believe that was in anticipation of the gun. He thought the gun would have went off. It did not go off. We just changed the guns, so hopefully this one works. And it goes off actually, but this is it does messes with the athlete psyche. I hope they could calm down, stay focused. They just need to tell themselves, stay focused, it's okay, there's no false start, no pressure, everyone is still at the beginning of the race, no one has an advantage, it's still even, so you just go out and execute.
Did you hear all those words you have to tell yourself just now?
Yeah, that's what they have to tell themselves.
That's a lot.
I hope they're still young and slightly inexperienced, but from experience they will be able to do that in the future. And they're finally off. Third time is the charm. Oh boy, and they are off. Dominica in lane 8 is going, but we also have Grenada looking good.
And look at St. Lucia.
Grenada looking good. St. Lucia making that move in the back stretch. Look at the stride of the Grenadian guy. He has a really long stride. He looks to be very strong. But we have our St. Lucian, fellow St. Lucian, and he is coming through in the last 200. It is St. Lucia and Grenada. St. Lucia and Grenada. The battle is on. St. Vincent is also in there, and Grenada in 4th. We have Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and there we see the crowd is blocking us.
Yes,
so we can't even see. We have to wait till the last 20 meters. And it's Grenada holding. Grenada is St. Vincent coming through. It's Grenada. It's Grenada, St. Vincent, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, St. Lucia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot tell you what just happened because we could not see. Oh, a man down. We have a man down.
Oh, we have one athlete down, injured. Hopefully it's nothing serious. We will have paramedics to him immediately as soon as we can.
Do you remember there was a very long time ago an athlete went down and they helped him walk across the finish line?
Yeah.
Do you think it can still happen?
It can. And look, he still finished. Congratulations. That is the spirit of the games that we want to have, that resilience, that motivation, that dedication to finish no matter what. Because at the end of the day, every point counts. Every finish receives a point. So the fact that he finished his race, he will receive a point for his country.
I'm sorry.
That is guts right there.
I was distracted for a second because this young man is holding, what's that area you said what hurts?
Hamstring, his hamstring, I believe. It looks
not
like his
letting that
hamstring.
go.
He looks to be in extreme pain,
Yes,
but he
he
was
is.
able to finish the race. That is phenomenal.
commendable.
It is beyond commendable. It is.
And we were just talking about this athlete who had help crossing the field and he said
Right.
no.
He's like, no, I don't need any help. I'm going to finish this for my country. I'm going to finish this for my team, and I'm going to get this point for my country. And that is the type of dedication, that is the type of resilience that the sport of track and field can teach you, that at the end of the day, no matter what, once you remain strong, you could finish. And here we have it, the winner of the 400 meter from Grenada. Can you please tell us your name?
Kyle Gibson.
Kyle Gibson. How was the race for you, Kyle?
It was really easy for me.
It was really easy?
Yeah.
What tactic did you employ in the race to be able to obtain the victory?
To run the first 200.
Right.
And then maintain for 150 meters and then just take it home.
And that tactic worked extremely well for you as you was able to receive the victory. What did you think as you saw the other athlete, the St. Vincent, coming up to you?
I didn't feel no how, cause no, I'm a strong finisher, so we just finish this.
You knew you had it.
Yeah.
And it's great to see your confidence out there. What other events do you have coming up?
The 4x1 and the 4x4.
4x1 and 4x4. All right, all the best for those two events.
Thank you.
Very much. Welcome. Third place. And we have another Grenadian athlete, third place finisher in the 400 meters. How was the race for you? Just give us your name also.
My name is Gamali Felix. Just come to the 400.
Yeah.
You know, the race was a bit intense, you know.
Yeah.
Try to finish strong and did my best. Yeah.
What tactic did you use for this race?
Basically to go it hard, you know. Which on the back stretch was just a whole form. And then whenever I have by the 200, just finish.
Yeah. It's always good to hold form on the back stretch because that's where the time tends to go really quick. What was your preparation like before the game?
It was a bit, you know, comfortable for me, you know. You know, just holding whatever I have. Yeah, it was good for me through the trainings, yeah.
Okay. And what other events do you have coming up?
Triple jump, 4x4, and 4x1.
Wow, so you have a busy day ahead of you.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you some time to go rest up. All the best for the rest of the game.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. And we have the second place finisher in the 400 meters, men, boys. Just state your name for us and tell us how the race went.
My name is Janet Murray. The race for me was kind of okay. It's really my end of my season, but to come out and give my best. I thank God for the injury-free race because last year I had a pretty much bad season injury, so I give God thanks and praise for that.
Yeah, absolutely. All praise due to him. And I noticed towards the end you had a really strong finish. Was that part of your technique or your tactic?
Well, it's basically my technique. To improve my finish because that's like my weakest part of the race. So I have to go back to try more for next season.
Yeah. So now that you know that the finishing is the weakest part of your race, means you have to do some more endurance work. Do you run any other events?
Yeah, the 200 as well.
The 200? You may have to do the 800 to get that extra strength. What do you think?
Well, my coach told me that, but
exactly.
I hate the 800. So just listen to him and just do what he says.
Usually if you're a 4-2 runner, you tend to hit the 800, but your coach knows best. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you might have to move up in that 800. Do you have any other events for the rest of the day?
Yeah, the 4x1 and the 4x4 later.
4x1 and 4x4. All right, let me give you a chance to go rest up. All the best in these races.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thanks for having me. We have fresh off the press current results. So for the female scores, we have St. Vincent and the Grenadines in first place with 68 points. We have Grenada second with 58 points. St. Lucia in third place with 56 points. Dominica in fourth place with 33 points. And for the males team, we have Grenada in first place with 80 points. St. Lucia in second place with 69 points. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in third place with 56 points. And Dominica in fourth place with 53 points. And the overall point score, which is the combine of the male and the female points, we have Grenada in first place with 138 points. We have St. Lucia in second place with 125 points, but not by much. We have St. Vincent and the Grenadines in third place with 124 points. So ladies and gentlemen, we in second place by only 1 point. And we have Dominica in fourth place with 86 points. Let me repeat those again. We have Grenada in first place with 138 points. St. Lucia in second place with 125 points, just by 1 point. St. Vincent and the Grenadines right on our heels with 124 points. And Dominica in fourth place with 86 points. These are the scores so far. We still have events going on. This is the scores for 20 events. We still have 6 more events to go on both male and female. The combined events, we have 13 events male, 12 for the female. We have no female triple jump, but we have male triple jump, however. So we still have a lot of exciting events to go. We have a lot of field events, and we only have the 4x100s and the 4x4s to go.
From Grenada, we have Nepal Ma. Spaniel Ma. In first place, special award today we have Ms. Mary Wilfred from the Department of Youth Development and Sport, who is the Director of Youth. Girls 1500 meter run. In third place, from the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have Ashanti Richards. And in second place, from the island of Grenada, we have Alexander.
One by one. Girls and boys.
And in first place, from the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we